Okay, dear Venerable sisters and brother and Dhamma friends. So we have come to the last question and answer session of this 3 days residential retreat at Kalalgoda. So we can start with the written questions.
Venerable Sir, today we have altogether 9 questions. 7 questions on sitting and walking meditation, 1 on Vipassana and 1 on Adivasana. Reverend Thero, I can concentrate on walking meditation for only half an hour at a time. Though I don't feel sleepy, I can concentrate while sitting only for about 15 minutes at a stretch. But focusing on the nostrils is about 2 to 3 minutes. How can I increase this time? May the Triple Gem bless you.
Focusing at the nostril is just for 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes.
So then I have to ask, so after that where are you focusing? So who has written the question? Yes, so you can focus your attention at the nostril area for 2 to 3 minutes. After that, where is your focus is on? Some other object. Yeah, so I think the idea is now you are trying to be mindful and you are maintaining your attention at the nostril area, and you are able to, at a stretch, you can maintain that attention for 2 to 3 minutes. So after that you don't know, without your knowledge, you are lost at some other thoughts, mostly. Okay, and then so at the moment, once you know that you are lost, the moment that you establish mindfulness again, that means say you are lost for 5 minutes, for example, and that means after 5 minutes you regain mindfulness. That means you know, okay, I have to be here, not in the thoughts, not in the past story, not in the future, but I have to be now. So that means again the mindfulness has established. Now don't worry about what has happened. So that is the most interesting part. So if you regret on what has happened, then you are adding another pain, another problem to the already occurred problem. So forget about what has happened. Be happy about now you are returned. Within 5 minutes, now you have returned back to the meditation object. You were able to understand you have lost. Rather than staying another hour, now you are able to understand it within 5 minutes. Be happy about it. And at that moment, again bring it back to the nostril. And be aware of the breath. And after a while, say another 1 minute, you are able to concentrate on breath and you are able to maintain your mindfulness at the nostril area. Say after another 1 minute, 2 minutes, again you go to another distraction and you don't know, you are there, you are dreaming, and another, say after 5 minutes, again you understood, okay, I have to do the breathing meditation rather than thinking about all these things. So again, don't worry about what you thought, just again return it back to the primary object. So you have to do this bringing back again and again at the beginning. There is no any other trick or tablet or anything that you can take. So you have to do it again and again, bring it back, again and again, bring it back. But the interesting part is, as your mindfulness increases, the time period that you are spending in thinking, being lost, being in a story, that is reducing. At the beginning, say you were lost for 5 minutes. With the mindfulness improved, then you are lost only for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, you are able to catch it up. Then it is further reducing. After 3 minutes, you are able to catch it up. Within 1 minute, you understand. So after a while, within a second, split second, you will understand, okay, mind has drifted from the primary object. So that is that indicates the improvement of the mindfulness. So be happy about it. So it's a kind of a measure, understanding that mindfulness is increasing. You are no more totally in the daydreaming for hours. Typically, sometimes when there is no mindfulness at all, we can think, harboring, thinking, pondering, and all the things are going on for many hours. And we don't know what we thought, and we don't know what we didn't think. So totally in a mess of thoughts. So that is completely no mindfulness at all. So if your meditation improves, that indicates this kind of unnecessary thinking, this kind of proliferation has to reduce. So remember, it is not that you are simply sitting and walking. So whatever you gathered, whatever the mindfulness you developed through those two main activities, you have to use to avoid those proliferation, to cut off that proliferation. It is really important. So if you are on the other times, if you are simply thinking, planning, thinking and all the nonsense, then that means you are still allowing the mind to go on unnecessary things. So try to cut down that and try to be in the present moment. Try to be in the where the body is, what you are feeling. And even the mind is thinking, you can be aware. That's another interesting part. So that we can come to a later, where you are watching your mind by the mind. That we discussed last time also. That's another interesting part. But for that you need to have some amount of mindfulness already developed. Okay.
Venerable Bhante, I am writing this as a total beginner on meditation. This question is regarding my experiences in sitting meditation. In sitting meditation, I selected my primary object as the in-breath and out-breath of air. I noted the in-breath and out-breath for a considerable amount of time, focusing my mindfulness solely on the object. After some time, I stopped noting this and concentrated on the pattern of...
Sorry, can you repeat the question from the beginning, please?
Venerable Bhante, I am writing this as a total beginner to meditation. This question is regarding my experiences in sitting meditation. In sitting meditation, I selected my primary object as the in-breath and out-breath of air. I noted the in-breath and out-breath for a considerable amount of time, focusing my mindfulness solely on the object. After some time, I stopped noting this and concentrated on the pattern of the flow of air and the characteristics of air. But after some time, this cycle felt extremely monotonous and my attention and mindfulness both fade away. I feel very uncomfortable, after which I stopped meditating. I would appreciate your valuable advice regarding this problem of mine. Thank you.
Yeah, we need to understand that watching breath is not that interesting. So breath is not an interesting object like seeing a beautiful woman, seeing a handsome boy. It is not so attractive. So for that you don't need any kind of effort. But for this purpose you need effort. So that is why Buddha purposely taken this kind of meditation objects, because there are no defilements involved in this object. It is a natural process going on. It's effortless, and you are not purposely breathing, but the body is breathing by itself, and you are simply watching it. So it is not at all interesting. So at the beginning it is fully boring. So you need additional effort to maintain the mind there. So but as you subside Nissarana, as you subside these 5 hindrances, mind gathers some kind of momentum. Mind gathers some kind of inner energy, inner sort of joy. Then you may find that breathing becomes more beautiful. So you can forget about all the world, entire world, and you can just be happy about the present moment. There's a kind of beauty of present moment will arise. So till that time, till that you are happy about this present moment, till that you gain this present moment awareness, the happiness, the lightness of this present moment awareness, it will be utter boring process. So the Anapanasati definitely will have this what we sometimes call as beautiful breath. It's at another stage. At the beginning it is not that beautiful, it is so boring, and you need more attention to maintain your mind there. But later on, as I said, once the hindrances are subside, So mind itself start to understand the beauty of it, the frictionless nature. So there is no tension there, no stress there. Your mind is fairly comfortable in it. So entirely peaceful. So then mind starts appreciating it, enjoying it. Then even if you want to think something, mind don't want to think it. Because thinking becomes a burden for the mind. Mind understands how frustrating it is to think. That is how it is evolving. So at the beginning you need certain amount of effort to maintain your mind in the present moment, in the in-breath and out-breath, because it's at the beginning it is entirely boring. So only advice I have to give is keep practicing. So only solution is continue practicing till you are happy about the breathing. I mean till you find the happiness in breathing, contentment in breathing. So it is definitely it is there. That's why I mean if I am telling few things in samatha side. So when someone is in the say first jhana, so it is said the rapture is one part of it. So it's feeling so satisfied, feeling so happy. It's fully sort of came to home like feeling is there. But even in the vipassana, when the things, when you are really observing that things are happening without your participation, simply you are watching, so you feel some kind of a happiness. So Buddha says in the vipassana side, Buddha says it's a kind of amanusi rati. It's a sort of inhuman like. You are seeing your own, not really own, I mean some kind of inner process going on, and you are simply watching it as someone else's process. It's kind of inhuman. And by watching that you get happiness. So beautiful path actually, but at the beginning it is extremely slow. So be patient and continue.
Most Venerable Sir, Thero Anapanasati. In one session of Pariyanka meditation, I was doing Anapanasati. After few minutes of sitting, I was able to concentrate on breathing in and out. I remember concentrating on about 3 waves of breath in between. In between, mind wandered away, but I took it back to my nostril area. I was not upset that my mind wandered away. Once I felt breath as in-breath and out-breath clearly, then suddenly I felt that the in-breath and out-breath has become very subtle, as if almost it was non-existent. This happened suddenly without breath fading away. It was like a hybrid vehicle has stopped in traffic.
So what happened when the hybrid vehicle stopped? What's the difference?
The engine is not switched off, but you would not know the difference. I
see. Now I got the point.
I tried not to do anything. I specifically did not focus my concentration in my nostril area. I was worried that I would break it. I felt that this subtle breathing is occurring slightly outside of my body. I stayed still until I could feel my breath again. It might be about 1 to 3 minutes. If I am to say what I did during that time, I have to say I have done nothing. Most Venerable Sir, please explain whether this is a possibility or a hallucination. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you.
So it's of course a possibility. I mean that's why you experience this now. So sometimes what you experience you can't you can't logically explain even. You can't rationalize it, but you can experience it. So there's a kind of a limit that our typical perception can go to. There's a limit. So after that, still breathing is there, but we can't perceive it. So, but still breathing is there. I mean, you haven't died, no? I mean, because of this, you are still living. So that means breathing occurred. But it is only the necessary amount body is breathing. Now, say for example, if you are in a really angry mood, how fast you have to breathe? So the body consumes a lot of energy, right? So that means large amount of oxygen is needed. But when the body is really calm down, extremely peaceful, it needs a minimal amount of air just to sustain the process. So likewise, so as especially when your mental activities are calmed down, only the physical maintenance is needed to maintain. So then we need to understand this anger is a mental activity, lust is a mental activity. All these mental activities are sort of motivating this physical process, aggravating this physical process. But if not, that is there, then just the body is simply still. Body simply has to sustain its typical processes, maybe the digestion process, the blood circulation, like that, the typical processes, biological processes, it has to sustain. That's all. There is no added frustration coming through the mind. So through the meditation, we are calming down this mental agony, this mental frustrations. And now we are, suppose at a stage, there is a sort of awareness, there are no thoughts, no objects. So that means there is no mental friction. Only then body has to sustain itself. So then body knows what is the necessary amount of oxygen it needs. So then it will sustain by itself. So that is very much what's happening during the sleep, while you are fast asleep. So without your knowledge, body is breathing, but it's only the necessary amount of breathing. Same thing. So this can happen. So be prepared to go there, and definitely this can happen. It is not a failure. It is not a hallucination. It definitely can happen. Yes.
Thero silent. Venerable Bhante, sitting meditation. First concentrated on the posture. I am sitting now. Then gradually brought my mind to the nostrils. Realized I could feel the out-breath at the nostrils more distinctively than the in-breath. After 5 or 6 breaths, a lifetime of hurt and disappointment starts flowing in. Again, I bring my mind to the primary object, after which I go back to the hurt feelings. Walking meditation. I know I am walking, can distinguish left from right, feel the sole touching the ground. Along with all this, the hurt feelings are also present. Venerable Sir, I seek your guidance and advice on as to how to overcome this situation and to proceed in my meditation. Blessings of the Noble Triple Gem.
Yeah, whatever all these thinking happens, just undermine them, just devalue them. Don't give any importance to thinking. So that is, I have to repeat again, it's so important. So don't give any importance to this thinking. So our minds are so happy to be worried. So minds like to be tensed. Mind likes to be worried. Even though we like to get it free. Mind likes to stay there. So that is the ignorant mind, the habituated pattern, habituated tendency in the mind. So we have to escape it. We have to save it from that wrong pattern. So therefore don't encourage this thinking, and at the very moment when you understand that it starts going to that whatever the frustration, whatever the disappointment, just put a kind of a devaluing noting, like okay, thinking, memorizing, planning. So like that you are not going to the content of it. So you don't know who is in the scene, you don't know what the mind is thinking, but something is there. But you are simply devaluing it, not giving any importance to this thinking, simply thinking, simply planning, simply memorizing. That's all. Don't analyze the content at this stage. Simply discard it as quickly as possible and come back to the physical process that you are observing. And the walking meditation also the same problem has occurred. So same solution. So at the very moment you understood that mind has gone to that disappointment, so just just devalue it, thinking, and again come back to the walking meditation. Yes. So if you need any further clarification, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I am just keep going. Yes.
Blessings of the Triple Gen be upon you, most venerable Bhante. If I am not mistaken, Venerable Nayaka Thero during his Dhamma talk described meditation as contemplation and concentration. Eventually, try not to do anything rather than watching. Could you please elaborate on this? May you attain Nibbana in this present birth itself.
Good. So I have to give the explanation. Okay. Now at the beginning we need some amount of say intervention. So we have to do something, because typically what we did hasn't brought sort of a good correct satisfaction. Now we have come to the meditation, and there also we need to train the mind. We need to guide the mind. Otherwise, mind will go on wrong thinking patterns, wrong ways. Okay, therefore we need some amount of doing. So when I am trying to meditate, when I am trying to concentrate, be mindful about breathing, mind is not happy about it. It is going to the past and thinking about something has happened in the past. So if I am let it happen, so it is keep on be there, lost there for hours. Now I need willful involvement, intentional involvement. I have to bring it back. So there is something we do. So that is at the beginning stage. Suppose you do it again and again. After a while, after maybe weeks, months, years of experience, it depends on how you practice. Suppose you are being able to fully content with your breathing. In the sense, mind itself is happy about staying in the breathing. Now do you have to do anything? So, again at the beginning you even label, noting, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath, or simply in, out. That is also intentional. So you are sort of seconding each and every in breath and out breath. So that is also intentional. But later on, once the mind is happy and you are able to establish mindfulness, you have to give it up and further sort of simplifying the process. And now you are simply being watching, and breathing happens naturally. You are simply witnessing it. So witnessing does mean that you are doing something. So suppose you are asking a witness for a particular case. Is the witness, are we call him a witness if he is in the scene? If he is in the fight, if he is in the quarrel, are we telling him a witness? No. Right? So are you following me? So you understand what I am telling, right? So a witness means, so he is not in the scene, he is a complete outsider. So similarly, when the meditation evolves, we become more witnesses. Simply we are witnessing. We are not doing anything. There is no willful involvement, but we let the process happen. We are simply witnessing. So that is where we are coming to this sort of not doing part. And there, as the meditation further involves, so you are witnessing it. So you are able to understand fairly deeper about the mind, about the body, and how these things are happening. You get the kind of insight, kind of a unbiased understanding. So not coming through the book knowledge, but a kind of a first-hand experience. Because book knowledge means once you experience, you have to think. Can you understand? So if you have to apply the book knowledge, once you experience something, you have to again go back to the past, what you have read, and compare with that knowledge. Then only you can verify it. But when you are directly experiencing it, it is first hand. You can't think about it. If you start thinking, you are damaging the process. You are harming the process. So say at another stage, so you are simply being happy about simple watching, simple witnessing, and you can, in your undervery nose, you see that things are arising and things are changing and then things are passing away. Things are arising, things are changing and things are passing away. And you even understand certain causes are there. Certain causes are causing this process. And due to these causes, something is arising and it is changing and it is passing away. And there is no your involvement in it. And even if you like to have a certain pattern in it, it doesn't behave as you wish. So it is going through in its own way. And more you understand, more and more you give up. More and more you understand, if I participate, if I am in the middle, I am damaging the process. I am harming the process. So my intentional involvement will be the hindrance for the growth of the meditation at that time. So we are the ones at that time, if we involve, we are the ones damaging, or we are the ones blocking the progress of the meditation. Mind is beautifully flourishing, mind is beautifully blooming up. And if we involve, if we want to condition the mind, if we want to program the mind in a certain way, that means we are harming the process. So we simply have to watch. Like when you are the passenger in a taxi and you simply have given the destination to the taxi driver, you simply have to be in the back seat and enjoy the drive, enjoy the journey, that's all. And he will take care of the driving. You don't need to advise him. You simply watch how beautiful it's the process. So something like that. Yes.
Thero Saranai. Venerable Bhante. Yesterday Bhante was explaining a state of shunyata while being mindful on respiration. Is it the state where respiration disappears totally while you are still quite mindful, quite aware of being mindful? Or is it a stage of anapanasati samadhi? Please explain. Blessings of the Noble Triple J. May you attain Nibbana.
So what I can tell is, it is the seed of sunyata. It's not the so seed also sunyata, right? Now if I say this mango seed, so ultimately mango seed, if someone plant and give the necessary conditions, the necessary fertilizer, watering and everything, then it becomes a really beautiful mango tree with fruits. Similarly, in the Anapanasati, while you are able to observe in-breath and then out-breath, all the different physical sensations you are able to feel. But in between there may be an area that there is no considerable object to feel. There is no perception there. So, say during the in-breath, suppose you feel it like cold, okay? And during the out-breath, say you feel it like hot. So you are experiencing, you are distinguishing with this in-breath and out-breath based on the hot and cold. So this is your parameter. And so complete in-breath is happening. Now you feel little amount of cold, and that coldness increases, and then again it is reducing, and now something is there, and now again hot feeling is there, little this hotness increasing, heat increasing, and again it is decreasing. Now suppose in between this in-breath and out-breath, if you are trying to catch, so you can't distinguish whether it is hot or cold. Suppose in your world now, only hot and cold are the two parameters you can define your world at that time. It's a fully focused, fully attention, full concentration. So your world is now hot and cold. And at that time, in between this gap from the in-breath and out-breath, how you define using these two parameters? You can't, because it is neither hot neither cold. So then what we can call it, what we can name it, is a kind of a seed of sunyata. So there is no object there. But the real sunyata may happen in the long run. So as you expand it, as you further develop this process, so mind will start now it is in the physical level, mind will further develop, mindfulness will further develop, and later on, and you may be even see that in-breath completely fades away, out-breath completely fades away, and there's a long space. Unlike the beginning, where a considerable amount of physical sensation is there, the space is little. But now the space is large, longer. But the physical sensation is little. And supposing that at a particular time, you are in a complete space, no physical sensation at all, then further and further you are in the sunyata. And not only in the physical side, and as you go to the mental side also, if you are focusing even a thought, if you are noticing it till it fades away, till it ceases, after ceasing, again you are coming to the same stage. This kind of peace, this kind of emptiness. Either way, either you are going to feeling, either you are going to some physical sensation, either you are watching thought, any of these parameters, once they fades away, once they cease, ultimately you are coming to sunyata. That's I mean, at the very beginning, you are experiencing it at a seed level, very minor level, very tiny level, but you have to enlarge it, spread it.
When you answer this question in English,
okay.
Thero ගරු ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ පරියන්ක භාවනාවේදී ආශ්වාස ප්‍රශ්වාසය හඳුනාගත්තෙමි. එය දිග ආශ්වාසය දිග ප්‍රශ්වාසය වශයෙන් මෙනෙහි කරන විට ටික වේලාවකින් කෙටි බවට පත්විය. එයද සිහියෙන් යුතුව මෙනෙහි කරන විට හුස්ම ඉතා කෙටි වී නොදැනී යනවා සමග හිසේ තෙරපුමක් නලියන ගතියක් තද ගතියක් වරින් වර ඇති වී නැති වෙමින් පවතී. සතර මහා ධාතුන්ගේ සකස් වූ කය I can read the word that is there.
Yeah.
සතර මහා ධාතුන්ගේ සකස් වූ කය ධාතුන්ගේ ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය නිසා සිදුවෙන්නට ඇතැයි සිතුනි. සත්‍යයේ ජීවියෙක් නැති ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වයක් බවද වැටහුණි. දිගටම මෙසේ සිහියෙන් පසුවෙනි. ක්‍රමයෙන් එම ස්වභාවයන් අඩුවිය. විදිබර ගතියක්ද පැවතුණි. සක්මන් භාවනාව ලනු පැදුරේ සක්මන් කරන විට පායට තද ගතියක්, තරමක වේදනා ගතියක් දැනේ. හයි පොළවේ සියුම් ගතියක්, ගල් ඇතුළු පාරේ තද බවක් අද්දුටු වෙයි. බැරි මළුවේ වම දකුණ වශයෙන් මෙනෙහි කරමින් සක්මන් කළෙමි. පායට සිසිල් වැලිවල ස්වභාවය දැනුනි. ඇඟිලි වල වැලි රැඳි වී ඇති බවක් දැනුනි. ක්‍රමයෙන් සක්මන් කරන විට දන් හිස්වල වේදනාවක් ඇතිවීම මොහොතින් එය මෙනෙහි කරන විට පිටේ වේදනාවකට හැරුණි. එය පහව යන විට දෙපා නිරායාසයෙන් සක්මනේ යෙදෙන අයුරු දැනිනි. කායක සැහැල්ලු ගතියක්ද දැනුනි. විදිබර ගතියක්ද දැනුනි. තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
ඇත්තටම මේකේ මුකුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. කියන්නේ මේ ලියපු කෙනාට මුකුත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද? තියෙනවා නම් උත්තරයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි වැඩේ කෙරලා තියෙනවා. දිගට කරගෙන යන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ දැනට දේවල් තේරුම් ගන්න මට්ටමට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ භාවනාව හොඳට කෙරලා තියෙනවා. සක්මන් භාවනාවේ විශේෂයෙන්ම. ඒ කියන්නේ තමන් අර දැනෙන දේත් එක්ක ඉඳලා තියෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා කිසි වරදක් නැහැ. ඔය විදිහට කරගෙන යන්න. ඊට පස්සේ තව ඔය දැනෙන දේවල් වල ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හොඳට තීව්‍රව දැනෙන්න ගන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, I mean, not substantial there to explain. I mean, the sort of experience is explained in Sinhala. So, this yogi, while walking, so he or she able to understand the roughness in the coir mat, softness in the tile ground, some kind of roughness in the sand ground. So likewise the differences are able to catch. So that is a good sign. So that is how, you are able to be mindful. Then only this neutral information is started coming in. Otherwise, typically when we are walking, we don't know whether we are in tile or floor or on coir mat, or we don't know anything. We are on some other world, and we are simply walking. But now these subtle information coming means that you are mindful. Coming means that you are trying to be with this very neutral object, neutral information. So this is a good sign. So you have to facilitate it, you have to encourage it and keep continuing it.
Namo Buddhaya. Reverend Bhante, while practicing walking meditation, please explain how to improve Marananusati. Triple Gem bless you.
So what I have to tell is, don't do Marananusati while you do walking meditation. So you don't need to improve it, but you have to discard it, because Marananusati is some other side. This walking meditation is related more into the mindfulness side, that is in the Satipatthana. Marananusati, as you know, is an Anusati Bhavana, which comes under Samatha side. So in a way it helps to cut down the sort of conceit in our mind. Say if you feel that not only conceit, kind of sort of lethargic feeling that there is no energy to practice. If you are not so eager to practice, then Marananusati gives kind of an energy, some kind of motivation to you, because you will understand the death can occur at any time. So there is no sort of certainty of your lifespan. So while being youth, you can die. While being in your 30s, 40s, you can die. Being 60s, you can die. Being 70s, you can die. So at any given time, you can die. And again, you don't know due to what cause you would die. So it may be due to an accident, it may be due to a heart attack, maybe due to a snake bite, it may be so due to various reasons you can die. And again, you don't know where you would die, and either maybe at a hospital, at another country, and while at your home, at the roadside, so any place. So likewise, once you contemplate like that, you will understand how vulnerable this body is, and how uncertain our life is. So it gives us some kind of grounding to earth. Otherwise, grounding, because otherwise we are in a fantasy world. So we have years of planning ahead, and we like to live forever. But Marananusati gives us a better perspective about our life. So it is very short. So try to get the maximum of the life. Try to get the best benefit of the life. So it is in a way therefore really good. But due to that, once you understand that you need to get the maximum out of your life, then you have to come to the Satipatthana. So that is the main way. That is the Ekayana Magga. That is the only way. So while doing Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana, no need to think about Marananusati, because what you are developing here is more than Marananusati, more important than Marananusati, because Marananusati comes through contemplation, kind of deliberate thinking, rational thinking. But here we are with the direct experience. There's a big difference in these two paths. Marananusati, we are thinking, we are sort of rationalizing, sort of logical. It is coming. It is also necessary. That will motivate us to practice. But when you are practicing, be with here and now. It is so simple. If you put thinking into it, then you are no more mindful. So it's going in two different paths.
Venerable Bhante, is nothing also vipassana or insight? What does it mean to go beyond one-pointedness? Blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. May Bhakti continue to have good health and long life to propagate the Buddha Dhamma.
Sadhu sadhu. No, actually, what we have to say is that vipassana is there are many definitions, seeing things in a different angle, different perspective, deeper, things as they truly are. So like that, different meanings we can say. And insight knowledge is also progressing. You can't give a sort of a one definition to vipassana. So at the beginning, so you understand there is a physical process and there is another mental process knowing that physical process. So what we call as nama-rupa paricheda. There's a physical process going on. That physical process is known by another mental process. So there's a mental process we call as nama. That is through through feeling, through perception, through volitional sort of chetana, the volition, the contact. So like that, there are certain mental factors involved, and through those mental factors, you are able to recognize this physical process. But later on, this is one understanding. Later on, you may be even able to understand the causes of the physical process, causes of even the mental process. And say, still you are with certain objects, certain amount of objects, and still certain amount of observation is there, of course, and then the mindfulness is there throughout, and again you may reach to some extent, to some level. Now this physical process fades away, even the mental process fades away, and there are no objects. So then you are reaching kind of emptiness, as we discussed earlier, sunyata, emptiness or voidness or nothingness, whatever name you give. So there you have nothing to do. You simply have to experience it. But it does not mean you are an arahant. So it is another experience. So it is a non-defiled state of the mind, least frictional state of the mind, and it is something to encourage, because if thinking is present, if volitional involvement is present, it has certain amount of defilements, certain amount of sankhara, fabrications, consciousness is there. But where ultimately the vipassana will take you is to a kind of understanding the defilements and uprooting the defilements. Simply allowing the latent tendencies to surface up and seeing them as someone else's defilements, someone else's process, mental process, not yours. They have occurred due to causes. You are simply watching it. You are simply witnessing it. You are not feeding the patterns, and you are simply allowing it to fade away. You are simply allowing them to letting go. And mind becomes more and more free, more and more purified. So then ultimately what would be available? So kind of stillness of the mind. So we can say like that. Sort of a stillness, kind of happy state. You are fully contented. You are really happy. So others can't others can't trouble you. You are unchanged, unmoved, because no defilements. So till you have defilements, others can do something to you. Do in the sense you can you can mentally create problems in you. Say for Buddha, so others can blame him, but he is unmoved. But he may hear the sound, he may understand the meaning of what he said, but he can maintain silence, he can maintain stillness. So that is another part of vipassana. So where you are able to recognize defilements, whether you are able to recognize the habitual tendencies, patterns, and you are able to cut through, able to transcend them. More and more you realize yourself, more and more you let go these things, more and more you become sort of composed, become happy, still, many words. So ultimate peace, Nibbana. May you attain Nibbana. So all actually the part of the practice. So we start with very natural in-breath and out-breath like thing, but ultimately it is nicely, very gradually, taking part by part, step by step, going to this sort of maturity in life.
Final question. Venerable Sir, if a layperson decides to dedicate time for meditation for the sole purpose of attaining arahanthood, is that person stepping into adikusala? Thero Sarana.
Definitely. No need to think about arahanthood at the beginning. So before you see the sea, you want to go to the other shore. You haven't yet seen the sea. You haven't gone to the beach, but you are trying to see you are going to touch this ship in the sea. So first go to the beach. First go to the beach and enjoy the beach. See some seashells there. Touch the ground, sandy floor. Enjoy the breeze. So there is nice experience available before become an arahant. It's a beautiful path. As I said yesterday, Buddha says that arahanthood, he doesn't say it happened instantly. It's a gradual deepening of the mind. It's a gradual enlightenment, gradual understanding. So therefore first start with be mindful, left and right, in breath, out breath. So start like that. So, and definitely as you go on, it is adikusala. Because kusala means there is a person doing it. Okay, kusala. Kusala means, okay, you are giving dana. So we are taking all this dana as an example is not so good, then we'll lose dana. So we'll take another example. Okay, you are saving an animal. Okay, and you are touched that he is in trouble, and you go and save him or whatever save it, and there is a volitional involvement there, and you being a person, and you call for some help from others also if it is necessary, and you volitionally go and save it. And again you can think about it. Okay, I am the one who did it. Otherwise, if you are not there, it will be in trouble. So like that you can enjoy what you did. It's also right in the sense that it will create wholesome mindset. But it is with personality view. So what Buddha says in Sammaditthi, Buddha says it is two types of Sammaditthi, Kammasakata Sammaditthi and the Lokuttara Sammaditthi. The Kammasakata Sammaditthi means that you know kusala and akusala, wholesome and unwholesome, but Buddha says it is sasavang. There's a beautiful few terms Buddha uses there. Can anyone remember? No, the Sammaditthi. One aspect of Sammaditthi is related to wholesome and unwholesome. There are sasavang, saupadanang, like that. There is a asava. There is a latent tendency that we are feeding. But that is also necessary to, in a healthy manner, in a comfortable manner, to go on in the samsara. Huh? Lokiya Sammaditthi. Yes, Lokiya Sammaditthi means that you understand the wholesome and unwholesome, good and bad. But still there is a personality view. And by doing good, you are accumulating some merit. some wholesome energy. But on the other hand, there's another Lokuttara Sammaditthi. It is Anasavang. Anasavam Maggangam, like that Buddha explains that. It's a more noble, it's a more say high class in a sense. So more advanced. And there is no person there. You are just going to some kind of witnessing the process. Now, say for example, say Venerable Sariputta, or say written a real example. For example, Buddha goes and preach some Dhamma to Venerable Kassapa. That last time I did the Dhamma talk there. So Venerable Kassapa was not well at that time, and Buddha went there and did preaching Dhamma, 7 Bojjhangas, and Venerable Kassapa get cured. And that time, did Buddha accrue any merit? There is no merit to Buddha, because in order to have merit, you need to have a personality view. There's a kind of a difference there. So deeds are there, but no accrusion of merits. So Adhikusala, similarly in the meditations particularly, so we are trying to see a sort of a normal process, and there is no volitional involvement. As I explained at the beginning, it may be available, but later on it's mere witnessing. So, and it is seen through, penetrating type of thing. So it is cutting off the defilements, uprooting the asava rather than promoting asava. So it does not necessary to be a monk to do that. As a layman, of course, you can start it. So there are many lay people attained Anagami while during the Buddha's time. There are many Sotapannas, many Sakadagami, many Anagami. Not 1, 2, 3. Many, hundreds, millions. So that's Buddha says. That is the... can't remember the exact name. Buddha says, there are thousands of Anagami, my lay disciples, thousands of Sakadagami lay disciples, thousands of Sotapanna lay disciples, thousands of Saddhanusari, Dhammanusari. Like this, Buddha explains very beautifully. So this path is open. Buddha's teaching is open to lay people, definitely open. So, sort of dedicating life to sasana and become a monk is another step. So there we are taking a kind of a dedication, lifetime involvement, and that's also a good thing. I can't devalue this monkhood. That's why I have taken it, seeing the benefits in it. So what Buddha says is, if you are doing it properly, so the growth, the advancement in the path by these two people, as a layperson, as a monk, if we are doing monkhood properly, it will be easily you can advance, but more difficult in the lay life, because there are more problems, more involvement, more obligations, more trouble. And Buddha giving a simile like a peacock is flying, and as a swan is flying. Swan is simile parallel to a monk who has nothing. There is very less belongings and very less responsibilities, and he is dedicated to the realization, to practice the Buddha's teaching. That is the whole involvement. So there the progress is very quick in a sense. But on the other hand, a layperson, he has various other responsibilities. He has to look after his children, father, mother, social sort of responsibilities, children's responsibilities, so many things. So therefore, due to that, the path will be slow. The progress will be slow. But on the other hand, today, monks have so many responsibilities. So I don't know where we are going. So we have to be careful, and we need to understand why we become monks. So are we too much involved in the other activities rather than finding our own freedom? So we need to balance this. It does not mean kind of being selfish and not to come out of the forest and just being in the forest to be yourself. You can come time to time, but still you need to maintain some amount. You need to have some amount of time to your own progress. Yes. Yeah. That's all the written question. So if you like to discuss any other things related to your meditation, we can spend some more time. Or else we can wind up the session. That means that we can wind up the retreat. Sure. Yeah, that's a problem. No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll repeat the question. Yeah. Medical college. Medical college? No, actually the merit does not occur after death. Merit occurs before death. So, when they decide that let someone use this dead body for their understanding, for their growth, so that is you are giving up. You are having a sort of intention to help another. You even using the dead body of, say, what you call your dead body, for example. Just for the understanding, I would say, use the terms. So at that time, more and more you thinking in that way, merit occurs. But after death, no more. So you are in another world as a god. Okay. So yes, the merit has already accrued. Merit has already occurred. The more and more you thought, okay, I have decided to donate my body to this and that, and so the others will be benefited. Like that, when you are thinking about it, the merit occurs. So that is how it happens. Yeah.
My first question was 5 precepts and 3 noble forepaths that they could study. Right speech, behavior and living. The second question was 10 fetters, regarding 10 fetters and destroying impurities and all that. One respectable lady also asked.
Right.
Today I asked about right mental training, regarding that right mental training involves right effort, right mindfulness and right concentration. So furthermore, I would like to mention that I am asking question not for any distraction. Construction. There are so many constructions, building construction and construction. So this is for mental construction. So first and foremost thing is to be careful about our 5 precepts, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we have to concern about the morality.
Morality.
Yes. Because, I mean, if we simply forget about morality, if you are careless, that indicates you are not that mindful. So, there is a sort of another sutta called Sati Sampajanya Sutta. There, Buddha says, even if one starts with Sati, and Sampajanya, of course, and then he will get Hiriyottappa. And Hiriyottappa then get 3 sort of restrainment. Kaya, what you call, sort of a restrainment it is coming. Kaya, Vachi, Mano, what is that? Yeah. So like that, the three doors are restrained. and then you are coming to the Sila. So like that, even if someone without knowledge, if he starts developing mindfulness, so as a result of that, in the path, he definitely have to develop restraint. It definitely has to develop morality, because it's a result of mindfulness in that sutta. So, the point what I am trying to trace is, in the majority of the suttas, Buddha says, first you establish yourself in morality and then develop mindfulness. So that is the typical path, okay, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. That is the majority of the suttas. So you understand the value of the Sila and you establish yourself in Sila, the morality, and you are honestly protecting precepts, and you further being happy about it. That happiness cause to develop concentration. Samadhi Samvattanika. Say in the Sila, when you are protecting properly, there are several attributes to Sila. It says, okay, Samadhi Samvattanikang, Achitta, Asabala, like that. It is not tarnished, it is not damaged. In between there are no broken precepts, but you are continuously protecting it, and it causes to generate inner happiness. That happiness causes contentment, that happiness causes concentration, that concentration develops wisdom. That is the Sila, Samadhi, Panya, the typical progress, typical path, normal path. But on the other hand, this particular sutta, Sati Sampajanya Sutta, Buddha says even someone develops sati, mindfulness, without paying much attention to Sila. If he honestly develop mindfulness, as a result of developing mindfulness, he will definitely be more careful about his deeds, bodily deeds, verbal words, and the mental thinking. So it's as a result, because the person becomes more and more sensitive. He's careful about himself, he's careful about others. So Hiri Ottappa means he is now developing moral shame and moral dread. Okay, he is now become more responsible person. He was a careless person, don't care about the others. But as a result of developing mindfulness, he starts careful about himself. He is responsible of his actions. So that means he is developing morality. So then later on, again it takes to concentration, wisdom. So either way you go on, so morality is needed. So morality then helps to wisdom, wisdom develops to morality. So it's a kind of a interdependency. Yes. Exactly. Yes.
So when you are developing the meditation,
yeah.
So if suppose we are coming to some Upachara Samadhi and all that,
yes.
Suppose for example I am asking. So what are the signs we get there?
Yeah, I mean
Upachara Samadhi.
Yes, I mean so so these are samatha side. So we need to samatha. In the samatha side we are calling them as Upachara Samadhi, Samadhi Nimitta, like that. Certain terminology is used there. Even in Anapanasati, one can lead in the samatha side. There, once you develop, once you come to Uggaha Nimitta, that you call learning sign, the English term called as learning sign. So it is a sort of a state that you don't need to willfully take this mind back to the breath. Mind itself is staying in the breath. You are fully comfortable with breath. So that is a certain amount of samadhi, concentration. But later on, you are leading to another stage where you get a concentration sign, what you call as Patibhaga Nimitta. So concentration sign. So appearing of concentration sign and establishing it and sort of fairly firm, fairly stationary, stable. So that is what you call as excess concentration or Upachara Samadhi. Then later on, further developing it, you go to the absorptions and what you call as jhana. But on the other hand, in the Vipassana, these terminologies not used. So there you are going with another way. See, in the Anapanasati, you understand what's the difference between in-breath and out-breath. Okay, so you understand in-breath is hot, so rather cold, out-breath is hot. So like that, certain parameters are there to define the in-breath and out-breath. And it becomes subtler and subtler. And you may come to a stage, there you can't recognize whether this is in-breath or out-breath. It has become so refined, so subtle. So that is enough to carry on vipassana, and we consider it as excess concentration, upachara samadhi.
So we have to do compulsory, do samatha and come to vipassana, or straight away we can go to vipassana?
Yeah, straight away also possible. Certain amount of concentration and then go to vipassana also possible. Both ways are possible. Both sides are possible.
There is no any problem if we start in samatha and go to vipassana.
No problem at all. No problem at all. No problem at all. But the thing is, I mean, now even what we discussed so far, also at the beginning, certain amount of concentration is there. So when we are simply taking mind again and again to in-breath and out-breath, there is no vipassana there. In a way it is samatha like, because we are trying to be with the breath.
Actually, to enlighten to Buddha also using the awareness of respiration.
Yes, anapanasati. Yes. Yes. So I mean,
we can do samatha and come to vipassana.
Both possible.
And straight away go to vipassana. If you need some, if you are thinking about the parami side, if you need fulfill of the parami.
No, I mean,
think about it.
No. How you know to what extent your parami is developed?
We don't know.
That's the thing.
You not stop this.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if you start evaluating that, then you are losing the track. Yes. So you just start developing yourself. So, I mean, having human birth and interest in Dhamma represents you have enough parami. So take it positively.
I wish you had all.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, Sati Sampajanya Sutta comes in Anguttara Nikaya, either in Navaka Nipata or Dasaka Nipata. Because it has 10, no? Dasaka Nipata. 10 parameters explain. Okay, Sati Sampajanya result into Hiriyottappa result in, I can't remember the next result. And then the Sila result in another one. Like that is a progressing path Buddha explains. It's an interesting sutta. Yes.
Can I just say a few words?
Yes.
Wind up. I just like to thank you.
Yeah. One second. Hurry.
No, I don't like all this feature. I got this now.
Huh?
No, have you finished with your answer?
Yeah. Yes.
My question is on Satipatthana and the path to Nibbana. As I explained the course of this meditation, we have to usually start off by Anapanasati, that's Kalalgoda, and then with the progression we can switch on to Vedananupasana and feel the sensations, present or unpleasant, and maintain the upekkha. And now on the path, now there are 4 stages, like 4 milestones.
Yes.
Shotabhati and so on. So at least to come to the first stage, do we have to do all of the Vedananupasana?
Yes.
Or like can we do with one
Yes.
chosen, like
Yes.
more suitable for you? Like
Yes.
something like Vedananupasana is
Yes.
at least the first stage.
Yes. A direct answer is given in the Satipatthana Samyutta. There's a sutta, if you like to refer. It is called Padesa Sutta. Padesa Sutta, Venerable Ananda, as far as I can remember, he says, to attain Sotapanna, being proficient in one of the 4 Satipatthanas is enough. And but to progress, to attain Arahantship, you need all 4. And it is explained in Samanta or Samanta Sutta. So that means that you know all 4. Yes. So a direct answer is there in the Satipatthana Samyutta. You can refer it as Padesa Sutta and Samanta Sutta. Yeah. Yeah. Then just sorry.
How do we know our progression? How good we are going towards how with the proper direction? How are we supposed to know that?
That's why we were explaining. So I mean, you have to practice, and you have to report, and you have to have a sort of discussion, and then listen Dhamma, and all these help. So I mean, there are 4. I mean, in the Anuggahita Sutta, Buddha says, so this progression has to be supported in 5 ways. Sila Anuggahita, that means your morality has to be there. You are more refining in the morality. And then Sakacca Anuggahita, if you have any doubts, you can discuss. Through the discussion, your improvement. And then Sutta Anuggahita. Sutta Anuggahita means you can simply be getting some more knowledge about the Dhamma, and you clarify your doubts, you have some theoretical understanding about the Dhamma. So that is Sutta Anuggahita. And then Samatha Anuggahita. Time to time you develop concentration. And then Vipassana Anuggahita. That means you are developing wisdom. So all these things, it does not mean that in a linear manner, first you do that, then you come to that. It is not like that. Time to time you do all these 5. So everyone is helping each other. Okay, I think 2 past 15. Okay.
Okay, just like to say a few words to thank you very much for
Right.
coming here.
Yes.
Celebrating your Q&A sessions, very interesting and beneficial to all of us, which we really enjoyed. Dhamma days in our side was enlightening too. You have been a source of inspiration for all of us, and thank you for your guidance in making the retreat a success. Until you had all the 4 Brahmanas and others. You are so kind, so patient, and all that help your path of information in this life itself. If you have transgressed, please forgive us.
Sadhu.
I would also like to thank Thero, who took time off to be with us in spite of his busy schedule. When the Dhamma Vihari was with us on our first day, when the Dhamma Vihari was ever so persistent and looked into every little detail, all we had to do was just implement on his behalf. Also, a big thank you to Venerable Sir for coming, and our Many Mahanses for participating in this retreat, and all the yogis who took time off from home to be with us here at this retreat. Thank you all for your support, your generosity, and those who gave us dana. We get the strength to succeed in the path. I would also like to thank Kodi Hamdu and Asiti Hamdu for letting us use the facilities at Kalalgoda. And also a special thank you to seen and unseen beings for protecting this sacred place. So that we can follow your Dhamma. And Kumara and all those who helped us in every way. Saranti, I couldn't have done without you. Thank you. Karina for all the Q&A. And Linda for all the advice and support there. Thank you. And also I would like to just say a few words or whatever before you leave. So please see that the doctors are clear, their keys are back in its place, and kindly empty your bills in the room. I hope you enjoyed your stay as much as I did, and I hope you have progress in the path. Thank you.
Please come here and tell. Yes. So I mean, the taxi can wait. Don't worry. Don't get tense. We can pay additional 50 rupees. He'll be all right.
No, I think on behalf of the yogis, I think yes, without Vanaya, Vanaya Chandaratana, no retreat is possible, and we have two masters under one roof is...
I am not a master. I am a student yet.
I mean, to be a student of your caliber to us, it's a master. But, you can have the best of best teachers, you can have the wonderful facilities, but you need retreat organizers. And retreat organizer is an unenviable position because you can never please everyone. The best of friends can be suddenly turn out to be the worst of enemies. You become a dark code for everybody. But you have to understand that is how all of us are.
Yes. Yes.
It's not a big deal. And as people, we are all alike. And although we can turn pretty vicious, that very same person can sometimes be your best friend. And it's always changing, evolving. And what we shouldn't do is to perpetuate when things go wrong. And I remember when I started at Nissarana, nobody gave me any guidance, nobody helped me. I was put in the deep end. And at one point when I was getting too many darts, I went to a senior yogi and I asked, what do I do? This one is saying this, that one is saying the other thing. She said one word, garbage. That's all. And she said, why do you want, once you throw it, why do you want to take it back? And I thought, how true? Because we perpetuate it.
Yes.
And it becomes 100 times worse. And the other thing I have learned is the golden lesson of Dhamma is to be non-reactive. That is also phenomenally difficult, Venerable Sir. But I have learned the benefits of it. To be able to turn your back sometimes, without giving...
Reactive.
To be responsive, but not reactive. And these are lessons that I have learned the hard way. As in and
Yes.
I have a long way to go. And I appreciate the work you are doing in Dhara, because we might organize a retreat once a year, but you do it every month. And no two retreats are the same. You can plan till Thy Kingdom comes, but on that day, nothing can be predicted. So many things can go wrong. When a fan is broken, you can repair a fan. When something is broken, you can repair it. When you work with people, they're never ever happy. That's the power of the course. You have to say, so what?
Yeah.
But as long as you please the majority of the people, the majority of the time, and you do the right thing,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that's it. And
Yeah.
if you have done that, you have to pat yourself on the back and say, well done, that's it.
Exactly.
So you're doing fabulous.
Actually, you can't satisfy everybody.
You can't.
You can never satisfy everybody. And just, as she said, if the majority is happy, if the majority is benefiting, even with some difficulties, doesn't matter. Even if you are not getting the same amount of food as you eat at your home, but what's the problem? Just for 1 or 2 days, right? Not a big deal. Just be patient. Just thanks for the Dhamma that we are learning, and thanks for the practice we are gaining at this place, and we can just be happy about what we are having. It's not a thing to complain. So people will understand as they progress in this path. So these are some trivial matters. So having a uncomfortable bed, having a uncomfortable bathroom, having not so delicious food, those are minor matters, but it is more worthy than our own experience, what we are gaining through some seclusion, being with some good people, with some other practitioners. So that is more energy, more valuable than these trivial things. So if you could provide those important things than those trivial things, you have succeeded. So I think this place, actually there are many yogis who are well experienced, many yogis who are again beginners, and there's a blend of all these things, and we are sharing among ourselves. It's a beautiful place, and all the facilities are there, walking paths are beautiful, so the correct environment is there, so full energy is there. So I even though I don't like to say that I am happy than there, of course I am there happy there than here. So, but still, as a monk, I feel how much you all are benefiting. Even though I can't be so much happy than there, I'm a bit uncomfortable than there because I like to be in the forest than in the city. So, but still I feel you all are getting, that is more useful. I mean, it is, if I am just not coming out and just staying there, then I am too much selfish. But if I am coming here and trying to share some experience of mine and I seeing that you all are progressing, so that indicates Dhamma is developing. That indicates we are doing some good things. So I feel some good energy here and many people are benefiting. So that is the advantage. That is the benefit. So be happy about that. So others are benefiting but you are suffering. You are suffering. I know that. So others have to appreciate that. So you need to, rather than even certain shortcomings are there, please understand, I am asking from the majority, please understand, if you are feeling comfortable, if you feel that certain things are happening methodically, please understand it does not happen easily. It does not happen without someone else's dedication. So everything has happened due to much contribution, effort through organizers. So the large large burden has gone to them. So they are the ones taken all the trouble on behalf of us. So I basically like to appreciate what she has done, and I hope that we'll get these kind of opportunities so that we can share our experiences and we can progress in Dhamma. Yes.
And this was Venerable Bhante's dream to have a residential English language retreat. And when it actually came about, Panadure was the start.
Yes.
Just a day retreat, but he was not happy. Knowing Bhante, he was always wanted more.
Yes.
And when this came, he was so happy.
Yes.
He said, I have found the organizer also.
Yes.
I wanted to get you involved. I said, Bhante, you raising up. So he's extremely happy.
Yes.
There is this place, there is Vidhara, and of course Vidhara can't do it alone. There are people like Samanthi and Shamita, and I think Irumi also who always helps. So you can't work alone. You work as a team.
Yes. And you will get more and more people who like to help you. So it will come automatically. You can't invite them, but people will voluntarily come to you. So there are true good-hearted people. So they will come and help you. So as a group, then we'll go forward. So you can't get maximum support at the beginning, but as we are going on in the retreats, people will understand. People will recognize who you are, what are the dedication that you are doing, and people will start more and more support. So don't worry about any of these things. So take it positively. That's a yes.
Okay. So I thank you, Vidhara, on behalf of everybody, and may you continue this good work, and all support you, and the Dhamma will protect you.
Yes. There's another one person who wants to tell something. Yes. Right. Please come to the mic, please.
She asked me all 4 Satipatthana.
Yes. Yes.
I have read and I have heard several times that when you do Anapanasati or another Anapasana, it actually includes.
Yes. So what I want to tell is, so Buddha says in Padesa Sutta, as again I have to repeat. So it is said by Venerable Ananda. So one being sort of proficient in one is enough to attain the first noblehood. Okay, first path fruition. But if you were to progress for the fully enlightenment, you need to be aware of the all 4. And again, interesting enough, in the Anapanasati Sutta, in Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha explains that Anapanasati can be developed satisfying, fulfilling all 4 Satipatthanas. That's the beauty in Anapanasati. So Buddha explains, you can refer in Majjhima Nikaya Anapanasati Sutta, how to develop Kayanupassana using Anapanasati, how to develop Vedananupassana using Anapanasati, how to develop Chittanupassana using Anapanasati, and how to develop Dhammanupassana using Anapanasati. So Anapanasati can be developed touching all the four aspects. Therefore, one can go for full enlightenment through Anapanasati. So that is the beauty of Anapanasati. So therefore, and the Buddhas also have become enlightened using Anapanasati. So therefore, kind of a big advantage is there in Anapanasati. Yes. Okay, so I think we can wind up the retreat now. So all these several days, so we have accumulated so much merits, and we done our best, and we have protected morality, and some actually helped us in giving dana, and even the organizers did their best to conduct the retreat, and the participants did their best to fulfill this meditation. So likewise, there are many people involved, and through all these activities, we all accumulated a lot of merit. So let us share these merits with all the passed away relatives, all the gods, and again whoever is in need of merit. So with some metta in your mind, let's all recite the traditional stanzas, and the people who don't aware of these recitations, the verses, please pay attention. So we'll all recite the traditional stanzas. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatam punya sampadam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatam punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanang. Akasattha cha bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanang. Akasattha cha bummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So if do I need to give 5 precepts? Is there anyone under 8 precepts? All of us, right? So then you can recite Namo Tassa 3 times to get 5 precepts, right? Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Saranaagamanang sampunnang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Pisuna vācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Parusā vācā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sampappalāpā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Micca ājīvā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Tisaranena saddhiṃ ājīva attamaka sīlaṃ dhammam sādukhaṃ surakkhitāṃ katvā appamādena sampādē tabbam. Abhivādana sīlissa niccang vaddhāpacāyino Cattāro dhammā vaddhanti āyuvanno sukham balang āyurārogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevaca atho nibbāna sampatti imināte samijjatu. Okay, Sukhi hotu, Nibbana Pacchaya hotu. May you be all happy and attain path fruition in this very life. Sukhi hotu.